All right. So what would you say, Kyle? We went down. It was last weekend we went down and got the Stormy Daniels for you, right?
That's gonna stick.
It kind of works, so yeah, it's gonna stick. It is better than the teal toe, but
It's the storm, Stormy Daniels.
yeah, it's a storm. Call it the Stormy Daniels. Are we making more coffee?
Yes, we are.
Oh, we're gonna make more coffee.
We fill
Good.
it up to the
I filled it all the way up.
break.
Fill it all, no, all the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah, that's why we got almost a full pot out of your press. A lot of work going into the press side of it now. This is the downside of it, but so went down to look at that wooden disaster of a kayak um, to the towards the shore.
Yeah.
To your left. It's going. Turn them over. Well, turn them more up. More up. There you go. Let it warm up a second. Sounds like it's still pretty warm though. So we went down. We ended up in Savannah at the Savannah Canoe and Kayak Company. Or is it just Savannah Canoe and Kayak? My dealing with Nigel was just informational stuff. It was actually pretty good. Kyle, the one that actually bought the, we gotta come up with a better handle for Kyle too. He's actually the one that purchased the kayak, obviously. How would you say your experience with Nigel and his crew at the Savannah Canoe and Kayak was?
And they were very helpful. I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, right. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, look, I've got this boat, but let's go over here. Let's put him in a couple of different boats just to see where his mindset and how his feeling was on it, right?
What we wanted to do. He was trying to, give us what we needed. Give me what I needed. Knew I was a big guy. Wanted to do the river.
Yeah, I mean, I did feel at first he was a little nudging towards the 12-foot because we were talking about doing a trip down a river.
The first one he put me in was a 14-footer.
Yeah, which was 2 feet shorter than what we ended up with.
It was a newer one. I kind of like the rigidity of the polyethylene versus the flexibility of
that newer kayak.
Yeah. Which, it was nice. It had, adjustable side. It was big too. It was great. But
then he put him in another 12-footer. I think the second one was a 12-footer.
Yeah.
It was a lot lighter, I will say that.
Pungo? Was it a Pungo?
Yeah, it was a Drager Pungo. And I've looked at those, but I looked at them when we were trying to find a sizable enough kayak for Kyle. And I've got a gallon of water over there. Hold on. And but yeah, they're very knowledgeable people down there. Nigel was the one that was helping us. Real good guy. Very patient, I would say. Very knowledgeable. So we'll see how this summer goes. I know I signed up on the email list. You did too, did you not?
Yep.
Because they do some kayak trips out of Savannah over to Tabby Island and spend the night. So it was looking very favorable. Like, that might be something we'd be interested in doing. But the whole thing was, let's see how comfortable Kyle is. Because, not enough water in these things. For the amount of water that we are wasting, to be honest with you. But if I was down on the shoreline, I'd actually just go down and take the lake water to rinse everything out and then wash it with clean
You
water.
gotta wash the damn thing. You gotta put more coffee in.
Yeah, that's true, right? Having one of those. You want to? No, you're good with that. So now I got to grind up more coffee. But I highly suggest. I mean, if you're down in that area and you want a true, I would say that's more of a kayak outfitter than like an outfitter that we deal with here in Augusta area.
Yeah.
Not to say that they're not good.
Well, and they also do consignment, right? So I mean, like the kayak I bought was on consignment. So if you got one you want to get rid of, you know, trade up. They can get rid of your old one too.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't. Did he say they do consignment, or was that just a friend of his that he had on? He had it on
I
consignment.
don't know. There were several old kayaks out there on the side.
The price was negotiable. That was the real good thing for a place like that. You weren't, and actually, I think it I kind of got the feeling that even the new stuff was. You could probably negotiate a little bit.
Oh yeah.
With them. So that's if you're in the up here. Like I said before, I mean, up here we've got half
Adjust
moon
the
out.
grind a little bit.
What do you want it tighter?
Yeah, a little bit.
That was one whole turn. We'll run a little through, take a look. So up here we've got, like I was saying, Half Moon Outfitters, which kind of seems like a chain store. There's like 5 or 6 of them around the Carolina area.
No, I want to grind it. I want to see what it feels like.
But I definitely wouldn't adjust it anymore.
I'm not.
Clockwise. Turn it clockwise only. Do not turn it counterclockwise. You'll screw up the ceramics. That's like the instructions for this thing was put coffee and beans in top. Here's your adjustment and only turn clockwise. And it says do not turn counterclockwise. You will damage it. It also says don't stick your fingers in there when you're trying to grind it, but I don't know. But yeah, and then we've got Southern Moon Outfitters, great shop. Guy was really knowledgeable, but sit on kayaks, fishing. They're a fishing, I would say, a kayak fishing outfitter.
Yeah.
You know, they had some rods and some lures and baits.
Mostly
and
all sit on top.
Mostly all sit on tops, and I'll tell you, I've never liked to sit on top, and I finally used one. And I think I lasted about 10 or 15 minutes in it and said, this is just way too much work to enjoy something as simple as kayaking. And you know, kayaking can be as technical as you want. That's one nice thing about kayaking is such a diverse culture. You got whitewater, you got touring kayaks like we've got. You've got recreational kayaks, so you can go into little rivers and streams, which are fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're on a little body of water, like a little river, yeah, a 12-foot kayak, 10 to 12 foot, I would say is really good if you want to do a lot of little exploring up little rivers and stuff. I've done it with the mistress, but it just sometimes it's just a little too big, like turning around. I've been in a stream where I was actually wider. The kayak was wider than the stream. But like I said, it all depends on what you want to do. And that's what's nice about the kayak sport. I think if I was 20 years younger, I'd probably be looking at whitewater kayak, to be honest with you. I would probably have one just to go and do some whitewater kayaking. You know, start out like everybody else, 1s and 2s, and then advance up through, and then maybe someday doing a 20-foot waterfall or a 30-foot waterfall. Who knows? But I don't think I'd need to wear a vest, because once I got that styrofoam helmet on my head, as big as it'd have to be on my head, it'd be like a flotation device anyways. I don't know. That's just me. I got a big head. But
It's full of air too, so you probably don't even need.
huh? What?
So your head's
Full of air?
too, yeah.
Oh, see that? Full of air. That's all right. See, I take a dig. It's funny though. But yeah, I'm just a truck driver. But anyways, you see the difference. All of a sudden, it's just like nice and easy, and
Yeah, that was it.
and it was kind of a funny conversation when we were on our way down to look at the wooden, the CLC. You see pictures of those CLC. That's how it looks. So if you want to make it stronger, you can either grind some. You can't. It's pretty full. So we'd have to take this, dump it in here, and then do like a half of one. I think we should. Let's try it.
Okay.
We're gonna dump that out.
Which way tightens it?
You want to make it smaller?
Yeah. Just a little bit more.
Clockwise. I'm gonna add. Oh, I need that part. I don't care about the bottom part. That's a little bit better than half. So I don't know. I didn't buy a whole pound of coffee because I don't really do this at the compound anymore. I'm just kind of cheap and use the dripulator. And we actually get decent. I've actually convinced Miss Ruck 73 to start using better coffee. So that's helped out a lot. Not there yet. That's a pretty full pot of water there, bud. Oh my. Gotta love it. Work. So shout out to River Kings the other day. Had a great conversation with them. Maybe sometime we'll hook up. They're not that far away. But we'll see how it goes. People that don't know what they're doing, I don't know. Confusing. Wow. You broke it, Kyle.
Oh, you said clockwise. It actually did a pretty good workout. But on the hand that's holding it, not the hand that's cranking it.
Well, it depends on what way. You can just hold it and crank it with this. You don't have to do this kind of action. Dead space. Yeah, so it's not. This is nice. I kind of like the bigger kayak because I like being out on the bigger water. And it just, I mean, there is a difference night and day between how smooth the bigger kayaks ride versus the little recreational kayaks, I think. Gonna do a run on Betty's Branch this year. Once the waters go down a little bit, because the river's moving kind of fast, it'd be kind of hard to paddle against the current. Yeah, see, it doesn't look like it's getting much smaller, does it?
It doesn't.
I think it's adjusted as far down as it'll go, maybe.
No, I think it'll go more.
Clockwise should. Because it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. If you gotta break it down like that, you know.
There's a lot of play in
The wheel,
yeah.
the stone, the grinding stone.
I like it though.
Yeah, and it was on the cheap. And it's always nice to introduce people to something different, I think. But what's nice, the whole setup is really small, and this is actually stainless steel, and then the glass on the bottom down here is plastic. So you got a little plastic divider thing inside, but they definitely they show you how to. They tell you to clean it, but they tell you not to clean it that often. You know, they're like you don't have to clean it every time you use it.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean you're just taking the flavor of the coffee out of the ceramic. I'm sure eventually it'll penetrate.
40.
For it taking a little longer to heat up. Kyle's water was probably out of the refrigerator or something.
Out of the tap.
Oh, okay. I wonder why mine, the first one heated up so quick.
I just turned the flame up a little bit too. Might not have set the flame high
Might
enough.
not have set the flame hot enough, he said.
Send some hairs off the hand a little bit.
Some arm hairs. But
I did want to use the Esbit stove and see, get some twigs and stuff like that, and kind of see if I could do like a combo wood burning and
fuel cell?
yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I was looking at that other Esbit thing, and I'm thinking to myself, do I really need to buy another Esbit setup with another pot? Do I really need a whole nother pot? I mean, I've got that.
What we need is we need a firebox.
No, I don't need a fire or a firebox concept
Right.
cooker.
Yeah. Because I mean, we got fuel cells, we got gas, but if we run out of either one of those,
well, if your Esbit stove, right? So like my Esbit stove, you lock it all the way out, you flip it upside down, you can build a fire underneath it. You know, you can always build a fire and just stick that
yeah,
just stick it in the fire and let it.
But then it doesn't like have like a.
It doesn't. It takes a little bit longer. It takes longer to heat up the water.
Yeah, because you got to heat through the metal. You don't have a direct contact.
Yes, you will. Well, mine has holes in it.
Well, mine does too, but
on the base.
But you're talking about, almost 90-10, structure to holes,
Yeah, but, you could turn the thing up and build your fire in. I mean, what's nice about having that Esbit stove, it does give you other options.
Well, yes, you could turn it on its side.
The thing that I liked about, the only thing that I liked about the firebox stove versus everything else is its assembly is a lot quicker. And it's an American-made company. It's a guy that, out west that does them. I'm sure you've all seen his videos if you're into this type of stuff. Basically, you can do the same thing that he does with that with a tin can. But well, all right, guys, battery's about to die. I didn't bring any of my chargers with it to charge it up, so we'll catch you guys probably back at the boat ramp. Later.